Hello friends, welcome to AMVI Academy. Today we will discuss the AMVI TSPSC 2015 question paper with detailed explanation. So let's start. Question number 1. 4 strokes of an IC engine need dash dash degrees of crank rotation. Option 1 720 degree, option 2 360 degree, option 3 540 degree, option 4 180 degree. Answer is option 1 720 degree. Generally, a four-stroke engine is an internal combustion engine in which the piston completes 4 separate strokes while turning the crankshaft. A stroke refers to the full travel of the piston along the cylinder in either direction. The 4 separate strokes are termed as follow. First stroke is intake. Intake stroke is also known as induction or suction stroke. This stroke of the piston begins at the top dead center and ends at the bottom dead center. In this stroke, the intake valve must be in the open position while the piston pulls an air-fuel mixture into the cylinder by producing a partial vacuum or negative pressure in the cylinder through its downward motion. Second stroke is compression stroke. This stroke begins at BDC or just at the end of the suction stroke and ends at TDC. In this stroke, the piston compresses the air-fuel mixture in the preparation for ignition during the power stroke below. Both the intake and exhaust valves are closed during the compression stroke. Third stroke is combustion stroke, also known as power or ignition. This is the start of the second revolution of the first stroke cycle. At this point, the crankshaft has completed a full 360-degree revolution. While the piston is at TDC or the end of the compression stroke. The compressed air-fuel mixture is ignited by a spark plug in a gasoline engine or by a heat generated by high compression in diesel engine, forcefully returning the piston to BDC. This stroke produces mechanical work from the engine to turn the crankshaft. Hence, this stroke is very important while studying the IC engine. Fourth stroke is exhaust stroke, also known as outlet. During the exhaust stroke, the piston once again returns from the BDC to TDC while the exhaust valve is open. The action expels the spent air fuel mixture to the exhaust port. Okay. Now let's move to the second question. Second question is cetane number of diesel fuel is measure of its option 1 volatility, option 2 viscosity, option 3 delay period, option 4 ignition quality. Answer is option 4 ignition quality. Basically, the cetane number of fuel is defined by finding a blend of cetane and isocetane with the same ignition delay. Cetane has a cetane number defined to be 100, while the isocetane measured cetane number is 15. Replacing the former reference fuel alpha methyl naphthalene. Don't confuse between the alpha methyl naphthalene and isocetane. Alpha methyl naphthalene, which was assigned a cetane number of 0. Once the blend is known, the cetane number is calculated as the volume of weighted average rounded to the nearest whole number of cetanes 100 and heptamethyl known as 15. Cetane number is an inverse function of fuel's ignition delay. The time period between the start of ignition and the first identifiable pressure increase during combustion of the fuel. In a particular diesel engine, higher cetane fuels will have shorter ignition delay periods than lower cetane fuels. Cetane number are only used for the relatively light distillate diesel oils. Now let's move to the question 3. Third question is, the function of governor in an automobile is to: option 1, limit the power; option 2, limit the speed of the engine; option 3, effect maximum fuel economy; option 4, maintain constant engine speed. Answer is option 4, maintain constant engine speed. The function of a governor in automobile is to limit the fuel to the engine to a maximum safe speed when unloaded, and to maintain a relatively constant speed despite changes in loading. Now let's move to the question 4. Very simple question. Question number 4. Petrol engine works on: option 1, Carnot cycle; option 2, Otto cycle; option 3, diesel cycle; option 4, Joule cycle. Answer is option 2, Otto cycle. Generally, petrol engines work on the Otto cycle, which consists of 2 isochoric processes and 2 isentropic processes. In petrol engines, air and petrol are usually mixed in a carburetor before being introduced to the cylinder. Once the air and petrol are compressed, the fuel is ignited via an electric spark. Let's move to the question 5. Question number 5. The power available at the crankshaft for useful work is: option 1, indicated power; option 2, friction power; option 3, brake power; option 4, total power. Answer is option 3, brake power. Indicated power, we mean gross indicated power, is the total work done by gas on piston during compression and power stroke. The brake power is the power available at the dynamometer. The difference between indicated power and the brake power is called as friction power, and the ratio of brake power to the indicated power is denoted by the mechanical efficiency. Means that whatever the loss happens in the engine is calculated by the friction power. Let's move to the question 6. Question number 6. A square engine, option 1, has cylinders arranged in square shape; option 2, has 4 cylinders; Option 3 has cylinder bore equal to stroke length. Option 4 has 2 cylinders horizontal and 2 cylinders vertical. Answer is option 3. Square engine has cylinder bore. Option 3 has cylinder bore equal to stroke length. An engine is called a square engine when its cylinder bore diameter and stroke length are almost equal, which forms a geometrical figure of a perfect square. The bore to stroke ratio is almost 1:1 in square engine design, and it's a very important question. It is asked in many exams from SSC JE to GATE IS level exams also. So please understand the concept behind the question. Question number 7. The friction that occurs between the layers of oil is called. Option 1 greasy friction, option 2 boundary friction, option 3 viscous friction, option 4 solid friction. Answer is boundary friction. Boundary friction generally occurs when a surface is at least partially wet but not so lubricated that there is no direct friction between two surfaces. Question number 8. Correct sequence of coolant circulation in an IC engine cooling system is. Option 1 pump to block to head to radiator. Option 2 pump to radiator to head to block. Option 3 pump to block to radiator to head. Option 4 pump to head to radiator to block. Answer is option 1 pump to block to head to radiator. Basically, what happens, coolant is driven by a water pump, is pushed through the cylinder block. As the solution passes through these channels, it absorbs heat from the engine. Leaving the engine, this heated fluid enters the radiator, where it is cooled by the airflow entering through the car's radiator grill. Question number 9. Lean air fuel mixture is required for. Option 1 starting, option 2 cruising, option 3 idling, option 4 acceleration. Answer is option 2 cruising. During cruising, the mixture is lean as the emission is controlled by using this ratio. Hence, more air is burned for the equal value of fuel when operating at standard sea level. This type of weaker mixtures give a good economy when compared to the economy of the rich ratio mixture. Question number 10. The process in which hydrocarbons are decomposed into smaller hydrocarbons is called. Option 1 cracking, option 2 reforming, option 3 evaporation, option 4 isomerization. Solution. Correct option is option 1, cracking. Now this question contains 4 important concepts. Let's discuss that concept one by one. Decomposition. Decomposition is the process by which organic substances are broken down into simpler organic matter. Next, cracking. Cracking is the process whereby complex organic molecules such as kerogens or long chain hydrocarbons are broken down into simpler molecules such as light hydrocarbons by the breaking up carbon to carbon bonds in the precursors. Third concept is combustion. Combustion or the burning is a high temperature exothermic redox chemical reaction between a fuel and the oxidant. Tremendous amount of heat is exerted, that's why this process is known as exothermic chemical reaction. Next concept is pyrolysis. Pyrolysis is the thermal decomposition of materials at elevated temperatures in an inert atmosphere. Please note that word, inert atmosphere. Okay, we will discuss the next questions in next part. In that way we will upload 15 such more parts. We have launched the AMVI TSPSC test series containing 20 full mock tests and 150 topic-wise tests. Almost 5,000 questions are framed in the test. Have framed in the test series, and you can solve the test series or the buy test series on the app. First mock test is free to all. Please give that test, then decide the quality of test, and then only decide to buy the test series. You can download our app